Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the Planet Earth here. I don't know why, but I own 3 cell phones, and I'm going to be giving out this Samsung J3. It's like a $100 phone, or $170 phone. I'll be giving that to my 10,000th subscriber. Hopefully I don't ruin that one either. To my right, we have the Verizon Wireless 4G LTE. We have Sprint, and we have AT&T. Right now it's 2 o'clock in the morning, so these towers should be pretty unloaded. So let's see what kind of speeds we get. Let's give them about a 1/4 inch of space. Make sure they don't interfere with each other for some reason. And let's see what happens. So on to the right we have the Verizon Wireless variant. You have a Sprint variant. And you have AT&T variant. And for my 10,000th subscriber giveaway, I'll give out this AT&T phone. I don't want AT&T. This is unlimited data on this AT&T phone. 50 gigabytes on this Verizon for $50. You can't get that anywhere. I mean, for $80. Oh, I say $50. $80 for 50 gigabytes of data. I got it through the executive offices. Through Sprint, unlimited data. This is $55 a month plus the insurance on the phone. So it's like 60, 56, 60, 70. It's about 60, 55. It's about $70 a month after taxes. This one is about we're looking at about $120 a month. And this one is temporary, but this one's only $100 a month. But I'm only using AT&T to pay off another phone I owe. So, and then after that I'll cancel them out. And then I've already paid this phone in full, technically. So right now my bill is only $100 for this one. But I'm getting rid of this one. And I got a free month of service with this one. And I got a free month of service with this one. So let's do some speed tests. Verizon on the right. Here we go. Indianapolis seems to have a pretty good server too. Alright, so we are getting 70 megabits. We're getting 55 megabits. We're getting 60 megabits. Remember, these are unloaded towers at the moment. Looks like we almost got 100 megabits per second down. The upload looks like it's suffering with Verizon Wireless. We got a decent amount of upload speed, about almost 9 megabits per second up. We have 13 megabits per second up on the Sprint network. We have 9 megabits per second up on the AT&T network. And it seems to we have almost 5 megabit upload speed on the Verizon variant. But where the download upload suffers, the download is impeccable with the Verizon network, obviously. Verizon has the best ping time. Wow, Sprint's actually doing pretty good at 48 milliseconds. 71 milliseconds with AT&T. And an astonishing 36 milliseconds with the Verizon variant. These are all quad-core phones. So, speed of the phone itself has nothing to do with the actual speed. It depends on the network. So, with these different devices, I am going to give it to, I'm going to go ahead and just do one speed test at a time. So right now we are doing the AT&T variant. So let us do its speed test here. So it's like we're getting 50 megabits down. I'll do one speed at a time so I don't mess up the server over there in Indianapolis. Looks like we're getting about 60 megabits down with AT&T. These are unloaded towers at the moment. I just wanted to show you what kind of max speed you usually get with unloaded tower with 3 bars of service. It doesn't matter as long as you have 60 megabits down and 9 megabits up. Let's go ahead and do the Sprint variant. Ping time, 47 milliseconds. Download speed seems to be about 56 megabits per second, 57 megabits per second. So 57 megabits down on the Sprint with full bars. And it looks like about 13 megabits up. It'll be maxed out around 13 in this, but outside it goes about 20. So 57 down, 13 megabits up, 60 megabits down, and 9 megabits up. Now for the Verizon variant, I have a bias. I like Verizon Wireless. You can hate me all you want, but they tend to have the best speeds no matter what. Where you go, how you do it. And right now on this unloaded tower, Looks like I just got 91 megabits down, and the upload should be about 3 or 4 or 5. But really right now, since they're so unloaded right now, there shouldn't be that much interference, especially with no cars. Not much the telecommunications, not many people on their cell phone right now. So, the AT&T variant 60, the Sprint variant with full bars is 57 down and 13 megabits up. The advantage of being closer to a tower is more upload speed. So, like saying you're broadcasting, you're playing your stupid Pokemon Go or whatever, you have more upload speed, more bars you have. Usually the less bars you have, and the further you are from the tower, you don't get as much upload speed, but you may get the same download speed. Now, in the future, when 5G LTE comes out, this may be a thing of the past, and this video will be outdated. But until then, looks like in general, obviously, Verizon, with 3 bars, not even full bars, 3 bars of service, and that is not a crack on my phone, that is just the OtterBox cracked. It looks to me, in general, Sprint wins with the upload speed here. AT&T is average, I don't know how to say it, but it does beat Sprint on the download speed. And it looks like the Verizon phone, as usual, comes in with the fastest LTE speeds. So we'll go ahead and do a speed test while holding the phone up and see if there's any differences in actual speed. This is a Galaxy S7 device. There seems to be a slight degrade in download speed. It's still close to that 90 megabit mark. And there's only 2 bars of service. So that means the upload speed is probably going to be a lot lower. Now that there's only 2 bars. Yep, 2 megabit upload, but 85 megabit download, which of course is good. Now we're going to go ahead and do the AT&T variant. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do AT&T. Looks like we got 3 bars of service on that AT&T LTE speed test. It looks like the AT&T variant is getting about 49 megabits down with a 71 millisecond ping, which is kind of high for a LTE. But the cell phone tower in this city is the exact same with the other towers, the exact same area, distance, whatever. So that's kind of disappointing to see only this kind of download and upload speed. And we also have the generic Sprint. Well, this isn't a generic phone, but it is on the Sprint LTE network. The only problem that I have with Sprint is that the LTE switches to 3G violently, while AT&T maintains an LTE signal and Verizon variant maintains an LTE signal no matter what. I have never seen a 3G signal in the state of Ohio. I have not seen a 3G signal with AT&T, but at certain places. But I never lose LTE with Verizon. Sprint switches to 3G a lot. It's kind of disappointing. They should have better handoffs, hopefully with the new spectrum they have within the next year. And they are. If you actually go look at the patents, they are acquiring new spectrum, which should actually be as good as AT&T or Verizon. They should all be good by now. It's 2016. Verizon's going to be coming out with 5G LTE in the next couple years. This video will be irrelevant by then. Probably next 3 years. We should have some extreme speeds. So let's do a speed test on the Sprint LTE network. Looks like we're getting 30, 40, 50, 60. Looks like we're maxing out at about 60 megabits per second on an unloaded Sprint. That's rare because most people like to use Sprint as their main internet because it's unlimited data. And that's actually pretty rare to see 62 megabits down. And it looks like 15 or 16 megabit upload. And I'm 100 miles away from Indianapolis, so this is actually pretty good. This is actually the better server that I've been doing speed tests to. 57 millisecond ping is good. We'll go ahead and do an AT&T test again. And only have 3 bars of service, which is kind of disappointing. But still getting that 50 megabits down. Looks like we're going to get 60 megabits down. It is on an LTE network. And it's the actually, it looks like Sprint beats them right here in this exact spot. Just because one's a Samsung device, another one's a Samsung device, and another one's an HTC device doesn't mean anything at all. means zero zilch on actual connectivity on speed test. Each antenna is different, however, in general, it doesn't matter, because even if I had the AT&T variant of the Edge, I'd get the exact same speeds. So once again, let's just do one more speed test. Let's just go crazy here. Bam, bam, bam. Remember, I am giving this J3 phone out to my 10,000 subscriber. Looks like we're getting 50. Looks like we're getting 50. Looks like we're getting 50. 72, 60, 55, 60, 60, 77. Looks like I'm gonna say it, but to be honest, looks like Sprint has the best LTE probably because it's full bars. AT&T seems to have good upload speed. Verizon has the lowest upload speed but the fastest download speed. It depends. Are you a downloader or are you an uploader or a downloader? But obviously, if I took this phone outside, I would actually get better speed results. And Verizon, I always get more than 20 megabit upload at this time of night. This one, during peak hours, I'll see about 25 to 26 megabits down and about 10 megabit upload all the time though, like all the time. There's been a few occasions where it hasn't been more than 10 megabit upload. This one, it gets really bad during the daytime. I see about 15 down, about 8 megabit upload. It'll be different in other areas, but if you're on a highly congested tower, I apologize, but that's not my fault. That is everybody's fault for being on the tower in the first place. So, unlimited data, 50 gigabytes of data. Which, the only reason I'm keeping Verizon Wireless. I would have actually just canceled Verizon Wireless, but I got 50 gigabytes to use, so I don't care. This one is unlimited, and this one's unlimited temporarily. I don't have direct TV, so I will lose the unlimited data on the AT&T device. Plus, I already paid off this device, so I'll be able to give it to my 10,000 subscriber. So we almost got 5 megabit upload here on this device, 13 megabits upload, and 9.72. So at this pretty much point, I'm going to say each provider is actually pretty damn good. You just have to be, okay, really, what it comes down to is your tower unloaded? That's what it comes down to. Is your tower unloaded or not? Now, I'm not even going to test the 3G services, because if I test the 3G services, which I could, I don't know how to switch over the S7 Edge to 3G. It won't let me. Verizon will not let you switch to 3G. They just don't let you switch to 3G because it's not in their best interest. Now, Sprint will let me switch to 3G, so I can do a Sprint 3G speed test. Sprint is very lenient about allowing CDMA only, so that's actually pretty nice of them to actually do that in the first place. But there's other things, like it says network mode, you can put CDMA only, so I can go ahead and switch over to 3G. And if I put an USSD code in, pound, example, if I put a USD code in, okay, right there, I just switched it over to 4G. So 4G is gonna beat 3G, obviously. And it didn't stay. So let's go ahead and do a speed test real quick on the 3G network of Sprint. Got full bars of 3G, which is actually a rare commodity. Most of the time you don't see full bars of 3G. And right now the tower is unloaded. Capacity is under 10%. So I should see almost 3 megabits per second, but it never actually hits 3 megabits per second. The fastest I've ever seen with 3G on any device is about 2.6. And there it is, and about 1.20 is usually the fastest I'll see on the upload speed. But it looks like it's hitting almost 1 megabit per second. That's pretty unloaded. That's pretty good. The fastest I've seen, obviously if I did a 4G speed test on AT&T, it would be a lot faster. AT&T told me they're trying to get rid of 2G services. Verizon has terrible service in West Virginia. Live in West Virginia, you don't get good LTE speeds. 3G services with Sprint is okay as long as you have full bars. But once you start getting below 2 bars, the terrible service is terrible. But really what it comes down to, any of these providers, how far are you from the tower is a big one. But if you have 3 more bars, that is a good buffer of your services. And because you have more than 3 bars, you should be okay. But it all comes down, how congested is your cell phone tower? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say that all these towers are fine, or all these cell phone providers are fine. What I'm going to say is if you're looking for coverage, you're going to go with Verizon. If you're looking for a kind of, unlimited data with DirecTV and pretty damn decent coverage, you're going to go with AT&T as of this video. Now, if you're the kind of person who says, I really don't care about coverage, I'm not traveling all the time, I'm not really a traveler, I would go with Sprint. And if you have at least 3 or more bars on your house and you get very slow data speeds, I'm sorry, but that is not your fault. That is the Sprint network's fault because they have an over-congested tower and they can only put so much bandwidth through wireless at this point. But when 5G LTE comes out, that will be a thing of the past. Do not necessarily blame the provider for the lack of internet. Blame the users for massively using it, the network, the actual cell phone towers. Don't always blame the network providers. But Verizon tends to have more capacity per tower. AT&T has a pretty good capacity per tower. Sprint doesn't, but their 3G services are pretty good. I'm not going to lie. They're pretty rock solid. 3G on Verizon is excellent. Ping time is insane low for an LTE speed test. As usual, 36 milliseconds with 3 bars. 73 with that, and AT&T's in the 60 millisecond range. 36 milliseconds is good, almost as good as landline connections. But I'm going to give it to say any of these will be fine for streaming videos, gaming, uploading, streaming live. You want to stream live to YouTube, you want to stream live to Twitch TV, you have unlimited data. If you want unlimited data and decent coverage, go with AT&T. If you just want unlimited data but don't care about the coverage too much and you care about the prices, go with Sprint if they have good coverage in your area. But make sure that when you take the Sprint home phone, make sure you have at least 3 bars of 4G LTE or at least 3 bars of 3G, or you'll have a terrible experience with Sprint and you'll take them back. Verizon, if you have at least 2 bars and 3 bars outside, you'll be fine. I would recommend Verizon, but you ain't going to get 50 gigabytes for $80. But if you have money to spend and money to waste and you don't give a shit, go with Verizon. If you have money to spend, but you still like the fact that you have unlimited data, go with AT&T and get DirecTV. If you just are on a tight budget and you can't seem to really afford the data plans, maybe you want to use the Sprint as your main internet, or you just want to check Facebook, upload videos, and not have to worry about, oh, well, how much data have I used? You're going to go with Sprint. T-Mobile, they suck here. They absolutely suck here in this particular area. They have a tower on the southwest side of where I live. It's really dumb because it's on the southwest side and only covers 1/3 of the area of the whole city of Dayton. It's very stupid. The whole thing is stupid. They suck, okay? So in general, AT&T for unlimited data and decent coverage. Sprint for not as good coverage right now, but unlimited speed, unlimited everything, and they don't throttle. Verizon will throttle you after you use your data allowance, and it sucks. But when you do have the high-speed data, you have the quality of services, and this is a very thorough review of these 3 providers. Think about this, though. If every tower was unloaded, you would never have an issue with the services, whether it be Sprint, whether it be AT&T, but you need at least 3 bars in your home. If you don't have at least 3 bars in your home, get another provider, because if you're wanting to mainly have good service where you live, you need to get at least 3 bars of 4G LTE, and if you're in a really remote area, make sure you have at least 3 bars or 2 bars of coverage. Get an extender, buy a third party an extender and put it on top of your roof, and get at least 3 bars of service. If you can get at least 3 bars of service, you'll be fine. But I'm going to say for wireless providers, I'm going to say who has the best coverage. It's not a bias. I am going to say that Verizon Wireless has the upper hand, and that's why I love them. If you want unlimited data, you're going with Sprint. If you want unlimited data and coverage, and you can spend about $200 a month, because you're going to be paying $100 for the limited plan, $60 for the unlimited, $40 for the line access fee, another $50 if you just get the cheapest DirecTV package. You look at $50, taxes. You're looking at about $180 a month for unlimited data, plus decent coverage. Verizon, you can get a 24 gigabyte plan for $110 as of this video. You can get 24 gigabytes. If you're not a streamer, you'll never use the data. If you're a streamer, you'll use that data like it's nothing. But if you just want not to give a shit about how much data you use and not worry about anything and use 50, 60, 70 gigabytes, you want to download a game, you want to connect to your computer and download a game, bam, Sprint. But that's why Sprint service sucks, is because everybody uses it and it's unlimited, so the towers tend to be congested, especially in the big cities. If you have Sprint and it sucks in your area and you do have decent bars, I'm sorry, but your tower is being overutilized. And that's the facts. I'm not saying that the cell phone providers shouldn't provide more capacity per tower, which Verizon specifies in. But in general, I'm going to say that Verizon has more capacity per most of their cell phone towers than these two providers. However, AT&T is improving, and however, Sprint actually is improving their coverage. If these guys can get better rural coverage, I might actually get rid of Verizon Wireless. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. This has been the Planet Earth, and this has been a truthful review on these cell phones. Thank you guys for watching.